American history scholars, this is Mr. Johnston, and in this video we're going to learn about the Missouri Compromise of 1820. So get your notebook ready and let's take notes. All right, so let's get right to it. We are going to take notes about the Missouri Compromise of 1820. So get a pair of headphones, something to write with, and some paper, and take good notes. You're going to want those notes afterwards. All right, the objectives for this lesson are to be able to discuss the significance or the importance of the Missouri Compromise and how it contributed to debates about slavery. If you want to look at them, here's the state standards. And what this means is that afterwards, you should be able to explain why the Missouri Compromise is significant and explain how the Missouri Compromise caused debates about slavery. All right, so you're going to want to listen carefully and take notes on this mini lecture about the Missouri Compromise. And again, you need to do more listening than normal. Most of the information will only be spoken. It won't all be in writing. So listen carefully and take good notes. Feel free to stop the video and go back and fill in your notes as you need to. All right, we're talking about the Missouri Compromise of 1820. The Missouri Compromise was a critical event, that means an important event, in the history of the United States that helped to address the pressing issue of slavery and territorial expansion. The compromise, which was reached in 1820, allowed Missouri to enter the Union as a slave state, while Maine entered as a free state. Let me go back here. This decision helped to maintain the balance of power between the free states and the slave states. So if you look at the map here, the northern states were free states, southern states were the slave states, and there was an equal number of them. And the Missouri Compromise allowed Missouri to join the Union and still maintain that balance of power. But it also revealed some real divisions and tensions that existed between the North and the South over the issue of slavery. The Missouri Compromise was necessary because the issue of slavery was becoming increasingly divisive in the United States. As the country expanded westward, there were intense debates over whether new territories would allow slavery or not. The South, which relied heavily on slave labor for its agricultural economy, wanted to expand slavery into new territories, while the North, which was much more industrialized and had abolished slavery, opposed this expansion of slavery. So the Missouri Compromise helped to address this conflict by creating a balance of power between the free and slave states. Under the terms of the compromise, Missouri was admitted as a slave state, while Maine was admitted as a free state. In addition, a line was drawn across the country at 3630. That's called 36 degrees, 30 minutes. That's called a line of latitude. And so you can see the line from the southern border of Missouri, and it was extended across the country. So any new states north of this line would be free states, while any states south of it would be slave states. This helped to ensure the number of free and slave states remained equal, which helped to prevent one side from dominating the other. Despite its apparent success, the Missouri Compromise was not without controversy. The compromise was deeply unpopular in the South, where many people felt that it was an infringement on their right to own slaves. The South also resented the fact that the North was dictating the terms of the compromise, which they felt was unfair. And meanwhile, many people in the North opposed the compromise because they believed that it was a betrayal of the principles of equality and freedom that the country was founded on. So, in other words, what we ended up with was people in the South did not like the compromise, and people in the North did not exactly like the compromise. They both were upset about the idea of slavery, and they were arguing over this. Again, the free states were in the North, did not want slavery. Southern states believed that slavery was their right. All right, now, the Missouri Compromise also had significant long-term effects on the country, and one of the most significant of these was that it helped to create the conditions that eventually led to civil war. The compromises revealed the deep-seated divisions and tensions between the North and South over the issue of slavery, and these tensions would only continue to grow in the years that followed. In addition, the compromise helped to solidify the idea that slavery was a regional issue rather than a national one. So when we talk about the regional issue, let's go back to the map. It was regional. Slavery was in the South, that region of the country, and the northern region was opposed to slavery. So we have a northern region and a southern region, and the two regions are, or sections, were opposed to slavery. In addition, the compromise helped to solidify that slavery was a regional issue, and it also was becoming a national issue. And so this conflict over slavery, here we see the term sectionalism. You can see the southern states and the northern states, and after the Missouri Compromise, many more events happened with debates over slavery, which eventually led to the Civil War. So that's why the Missouri Compromise is important, was because it helped to, hang on, let me see the rest of my notes here. The Missouri Compromise was a very important event in the United States that dealt with the issue of slavery and expansion. And while it was successful in maintaining that balance of power, it was also deeply controversial and helped to reveal the real divisions and arguments and debates that happened between the North and the South. And the long-term effects of the Missouri Compromise helped to make the idea that slavery was a real divisive and controversial issue. And the Missouri Compromise remains today one of those important events in American history that demonstrates that slavery was a controversial and divisive issue that eventually led to the Civil War. And so that's our notes on the Missouri Compromise. Feel free to go back and slow the tape down, watch it again, but get your notes down. And then after you're finished with notes, the next step is to answer the questions in the assignment.